time to give a warm welcome to Mr. Ward Hassinger.
I'm probably here under false pretenses. Wherever you're going to monkey around with that thing, I'm going to move around here, so don't get along. Okay, all right. I want to get even with Korsnitz and Stone Road. They called me and asked if I'd come and speak here, and I gather they were both in the same room when they called. I don't remember who was in the back. But their conversation went something like this. Who are you calling? Well, we're getting Hassinger. Well, we heard him over at Erdman at the one-room school, and you know how lousy he was over there. So why are you getting him now? He said, well, we can't get anyone else. So he said, the best thing we should do is be polite to him tonight and act as if interesting enough. Now I'm getting even with them. Well, how am I getting even with you?
No test.
Yes. My pappy was an elementary school teacher, and he taught from 1896 to 1936. And I have all his 8th grade books and everything, and so I acted out Pappy Hassinger as a teacher. So I thought it would be proper if we give an 8th grade test to see if it moved to 9th grade. And I didn't have the official test. If any of you can get me on the whatever you call it, on the machines there, I don't even have one, get one on what was a typical 8th grade test. I'd like to know it. But anyway, I gave an 8th grade test. And I think we're about, I don't know, 15, 17, 25 people there. 2 people passed the 8th grade test. These 2 did not pass. All right? I have a lot of relation here. Devin's part of my relation here. Romaine's part of my relation. Even the photographer here, or whatever you want to call him, the TV man's part of my relation, so in bad shape. I was elementary principal here in 68, 69. Charlie Woolen had just died. And they asked me to come down from Mognoy Joint Line Mountain. I came down. I was down here a year and a half, and it was the most pleasant year and a half of teaching I've had, as a principal I had. Everyone was pleasant, got along fine. Then the superintendent left up there, and they asked if I'd come up, and it was my home area, so I went back. So I enjoyed myself down here very much. The one plug I want to give on your Historical Society, I'm glad you're moving the way you are. I'm a native Gratstowner. And the people up there still think I'm a Gratstowner when it comes to doing things for the Historical Society, talk and everything else. But if you people want to take a trip, usually on a Wednesday, you will find that the store there below the community, by the hotel there, they have more material in there than your Harrisburg Museum has. Go to see that sometime. And if you ever want to take a trip on a Wednesday, now I don't know when it closes, probably sometime, maybe it has closed, but sometime get your group to go up there for an afternoon or go up for a morning and eat up at Reed's Inn. I'll get a commercial for hamburger in there. But I think you'd have an enjoyable day. All right, so today, tonight rather, I want to be talking in about toys of the yesteryear. I am 78 years old, so you people that are younger than me, you won't know what I'm talking about. Do I have any people that'll know what I'm talking about? Well, I better not ask. It's not a good question to ask in here. But there might be one or two. So that's basically what we're doing. Toys that we made when we were kids. Now I'm moving around. This is his problem here.
I'm skilled.
Okay. All right. First of all, these are homemade toys in Gratz. They're not toys that are made commercially. And that's what I want to be talking about. I have 3 speeches in suitcases that anyone anytime wants me. That is toys, 1930. The other is my Pappy Hassinger's one-room school, and that's in a suitcase too. I dressed up for that. And the other are games that we played back in the 30s. These are toys, homemade toys, not games. Today, when I am giving this presentation, I would like nothing more than if you people would participate in it. If I'm talking about this, and any of you have an incident, You will not interrupt my spiel at all. This was good. I like cats, but I like to see cats jump. This would make cats jump in there. So if any of you have, when we get to that, if any of you have, you are not interrupting me at all. I have no set spiel as I go through it. So participate. At the end of my presentation, whatever you want to be calling it, if there are any toys that you had when you were a kid that I missed, and your homemade toys in the 30s, let me know about it, or better yet, make me one. I am going to talk about the Hollerbix. People don't know what the Hollerbix is, but this person made for an talk. So if any of you have a toy that you can remember, make one. I'd like to add it to my so-called collection. All right? When we were kids, back, I was born in 26 and I grew up in the early 30s, and the word bored was not in our vocabulary. We didn't have time to get bored. We did whatever we wanted to do and play and whatever the thing would be. Now, I want to get you in the mood for 1934. I have a price list here of things in 34. I'm just going to take about 3 or 4 minutes to read off it. A little red wagon, 2.5. A sled, $1.45. A cap pistol, 25 cents. Then you got your roll of caps, remember? 2 cents. All right? Going on, a BB rifle was 79. Now most of these are boys stuff, so you'll have to put up with me. A rubber ball was 3 cents. I grew up in Graz, Newman at 3 cents to get a ball. We had 2 guys that had money, so they'd go and get the balls for it. Then they'd get mad at us and wouldn't go and give us a ball to play balls, so we had to be nice to them. Okay? A fielder's glove and ball, $1.25. Now for the doll, for the ladies. A doll with a china face cost $1.50. A movie ticket cost $0.25. A big little book cost $0.10. Now I'm getting a plug in here. I have about 130 of them down in my cellar. If any of you have big little books, 2.5, 3 inches square, about that thick, and if you have any that you want to get rid of or you know what there be, let me know, please. I do not sell them or anything, and I have a museum down in my cellar. My wife gives me heck. She says it's a junk place. But I have all this stuff through there. I have anything you can imagine. So by special invitation, and if you bring food along, you can come up with it. Okay? This one I like when you eat odd. A plate lunch. Meat, 3 vegetables, coffee, tea, milk, biscuits, cornbread, dessert, 35 cents. Hamburger, 10 cents. How many people ate 10-cent hamburgers? All right. Okay. A hot dog was a nickel. And a soft drink was 5 cents. And a candy, a big jumbo bar, was a nickel. An ice cream cone, they usually charged you a nickel for a dip, and then they put another dip on. That was 10 cents. A banana split with 4 scoops was expensive, 15 cents. All right, milk was 10 cents a quart. Margarine was 13 cents. Bread was 5 cents. Coffee was 26 cents. Sugar was 5 cents. Cornflakes were 8 cents. And when I was a kid, clothing for school. Maybe Markle there. Markle, you're younger than I am, are you not? Okay. My outfit for school when I was a kid was 2 pair of bib overalls. And then you got your shoes and socks, and that lasted. You got 2 shirts and everything else. But at that time then, the pair of bib overalls was 49 cents. Shirt was $0.25. Shoes were $2. Now for the women. A cloth coat. The women are always expensive. Cloth coat, $6.98. And here I had a shirt for $0.25. Okay? Silk stockings were 69 cents. And leather shoes were $1.79. Now for the man, the wool suit was $10.50, trousers $2, shirt 47, necktie $0.25. Services, tooth get pulled, 50 cents. Haircut, 20 cents. A lady's hair bulb, 30 cents. And a child's Buster Brown haircut, 30 cents. Automobiles, Ford sedan, $605. And now we got expensive. A Chrysler went for $9.95 and a Dodge for $5.95. For the ladies, for the housekeeping, double bed sheets were 67 cents. A bath towel was 24. A bar of soap was 2 cents. A linen tablecloth was $1. Now, here's the one, the average house in the city, 6 rooms, 2 cars, garage, was $2,800. Now I saved this one for last. I grew up in Gratz, and George, I lived 3 houses below George Adams. And George always had a sign up when I was a kid. 8 gallons $1. But my age, 8 girls $1 wasn't too bad. 8 gallons $1, it said. But then it said, no, that's for gas. And figure that out, that's 12.5 cents a gallon. And what is it now, $3.12 a gallon or something like that? Okay, end of that spiel. Now, what I want to do, I just wrote an introductory paragraph, and for you older people, you'll reminisce with me. For you younger people, see if you can visualize what it might have been like. Okay, I cordially invite you to step back a few years, 1930, in the town of Gratz. Come back to smoky kerosene lamps, made the most scary shadows. The wind made music over the farmer's cornfield, and at bed at night, listening to the rain on the tin roof. Wondering what you might do tomorrow. You always had the sponge ball game in the alley, or maybe up to Tommy Hall's tunnel, going through the mountain. For you people up at Gratz, you had Tommy Hall's tunnel that went through the mountain over to Lycans. And you go up there, it was falling apart as a kid then, but you go up there to shoot copperhead snakes. And you might be up to Tommy Hall's tunnel. Now, tomorrow you might test your manhood by climbing the water tank and stand on the ball on top of the tar. I did. I was crazy, but I did. You have the word chicken still in your vocabulary to now, and I didn't want to be chicken, so I crawl up. You crawl up that ball, crawl up, you go up to the rim around it, 3 rungs up, crawl straight up, then the roof comes out like that, and you grab a hold, and you have nothing under your feet, and you pull yourself up, and you get to the ball, and then you stand on top of that ball, scared to death, and then when you come back down, you wonder if that ladder is still there, how long you'll be up there, and it's foolish. And you'd be surprised the number of girls at Gratz that did that. They wanted to show that they were just as good as the boys in there. Okay, continuing on. You hope the rain might not be too heavy if you decided not to use a chamber bucket and went up the lot to the outside toilet with a distinctive odor and hear the orchestra of neighborhood dogs barking at you. Tomorrow morning, after hopping out of bed, you felt the cool, wet grass squishing between your toes as you went barefoot. You rolled up your bib overalls with suspenders, and maybe Mom made you wear a flour sack shirt. They itched. Now, ask your mother if you can come over and play with us and using handmade toys, but you only had a few pennies in your pocket. Go back in your mind and remember what you looked like in the good old days, 1930. Sometime tonight when you go home, you people visualize what you look like in the 30s. Get one of your pictures out and look at yourself. So that's basically what we have on the introduction and all. These are all toys of that we used in there. Some of them are been in that satchel for a while, they're flat. This you remember in school. Instrument going, I don't even know if this thing will fly anymore. We might have to get the 5. Okay, so you make different types like this, and you see who can get the furthest. I remember I was down at a Philly ball game, many, many years ago, 30, 40 years ago, and I don't know why I made a paper airplane out of a scorecard. And I was up in about the last row, and I see it gave that thing a shove. That thing went down right to the pitcher's mound. Here, announcement. A person who is throwing material on the ball field can be suspended. So that's the last airplane I made down there. It worked. Okay, here, this one, you have a little difficulty. This was our little helicopter we made. You should have a bigger stick to rub through it. The idea when you rub it, it takes off and twirls. Now this one doesn't always work in here, but we'll see if we can get it going. Okay, I'll go through it again. I put a little soap on it. This is in around, but you should have a longer stick than this when you put it in, and then it will take off and twirl as it goes across. There, that's a twirling. You put that as far as it can go. And then the other one, you remember this as a toy, a comb and a piece of paper, and then you'd sing. Now, anytime you people have something to say about this, interrupt. So I am not a singer at all, but if I would, I was talking Dutch to Marco, so we'll sing in Dutch. I do city, I do city, I do city, get so long. All right, so you people played with those. Next one we had then was the old button. And we just take that, and if any of you people have anything you want to talk about, please do, because as you see, I have all my notes prepared, everything I want to be saying, so you can imagine that too. So this was just merely, and as a kid, you'd be tickled with that as with the video in there. These are Millersburg geese feathers. Not the original, but these you'd take and like you'd go up on a roof or something, and you'd throw it. And you had and the nice place would be if you take it up on a high roof and let it fall down, watch it twirl as it went through. The next one I always enjoyed, the whoopee stick. And you have a prop in the front with this, and if you look, now, it's going counterclockwise. Yep! It goes the other. Yep! Yeah, the tighter you hold it, the better you can get the thing going in here. So I'll get it going back in there again. So this was the whoopee stick. Okay. This one we make in school. And this one's been in the thing for about 2 years. You just make it in school, you flip it down, it'd crack. And when you had a fresh piece of paper, it would make a noise. This will be just a sound out. But if you can imagine, teacher isn't watching and you let loose with one, you know what I mean, like that. The next one, this one is flat also. But this was just, what did you call these? I don't even know.
Pinwheel.
Yeah, pinwheel. And you take it and it would just move as you go like this. This is too flat there. Your pinwheel would work like that. This is my pride and joy. The Hullerbix. The Hullerbix was a piece of elderberry cut off, hollowed out, and put in. Now a guy made this for me. I appreciate it. Making Les Marr from over at Havy. And what you do, you take a piece of a cloth, I wet it back there. Maybe this is a little bit too big, I ought to rip some of it off. And then you load it in the back. And you have one in the front. Now this is a dry one in the front. And you just... Hullerbix. And then you were set to go. You had your next load up here. All you did was put another chamber in. Got it pretty happy in there. And you had your Hullerbix. And then you'd go and...
Top-notch spitball machine.
What?
That's a top-notch spitball machine.
Yeah. You need it. I need more of a wadding in here. That's what happens. You have to have it right. The guy made it for me, and I only had one wad in. And for 2 days, I tried to make the thing work. He said, "You dummy, you had to put a wad in the back end." So, that's the way she works. You can clean up afterwards. Up in Gratz, we'd have these. I'm sure you had. This is a miniature form. You take an arrow out of a shingle and just make a rough arrow, put it in the sling, and then you have a longer stick. Then you go and spin. You go and take this and pull it tight, and then you pull it. You had a good one up in Gratz if you could put it out over the water tank. That's how high they'd go. I won't take it off in here, but if you can imagine, with a long, about a 5-foot thing, you get tremendous leverage on it. Ray Monner from Burrisburg, I was talking to him about it one time, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "I remember that." I said, "Why? You remember Ray?" Ray said where he went to school, I don't know where it was, they had it too, but he said he lit the thing, and he sent it up in the air and landed on the roof of the school. They had to go and get the bucket shot and cut the fire out in there. Okay, this was the original sling. David did not use a slingshot. He used a sling. And I am terrible with this. Duck. If I aim over there, it will go back here. What I have is a wad of paper. It shouldn't hurt too much. So if there are any Goliaths in here, I'll go for you. And what you would do on the sling, you would take it like it, and I cannot throw it the way I want to. But you take the sling and put it around your head, and then let it go with the strength. And I purposely put it on the ground for you people in here. Get you between the eyes, and through that I might be king of Israel then if I hit the right person. Okay? This thing does not work. I tried it for so often they kept working. I told someone here, in Crocodile Dundee, the movie, they had the guy taking this thing and whistling it, putting it through the air, and it would make a sound like the bats. Whoo, whoo, whoo. After 5 years of doing it, I'm not even going to spin here. I just get nothing. So, but I don't know if I have dimensions wrong or what. If anyone can make one for me, it works. Just a shingle, tapered at the edge, and it will make that sound like a, if you, on the movie, that's the way it sounds like, whoo, whoo, whoo. And I don't know what's supposed to scare. All right, there's our thing. Someone make a remark, one of the shots you made. Anyone remember any shot you made with this? We're not going to shoot it here today.
I said we had a big one at Fisher, we could shoot from the square back to the schoolhouse.
Uh-huh.
We'd take a bicycle in or two and put it on a big line, we could shoot a marble from the square back to the schoolhouse. In the window if we were lucky.
Like I said, it was good for give the cats exercise. I like cats, but give cats exercise.
I shot a ball bearing right in the middle of mine and broke it the first time I shot it.
What you, Rick, what?
I was shooting a ball bearing and it hit right in the middle and broke my boy the first time I shot it.
Hey, this
How
younger,
good I am.
I'm teasing, this younger generation.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my game people don't remember. Nips. I'm picking this off the floor because they'll think he's a sloppy bugger, and my wife will agree. Nips. You have a piece of wood with a number X for nothing, 1, 2, and 3 on. You take it and throw it in the air. And whatever number comes down, you have a baseball paddle, not a round bat. 2 is there. So what you would do, I don't even have a piece. Well, maybe I could use this, I don't know. Then you would hit it on the end, and when it goes up in the air, you bat it as far as you go. So I get 2 swings, and then all of us that are playing, you get your swings. Whoever wins after the end of 9 innings is the winner. I don't even know. And then it goes up in the air, you hit it. I didn't want to hit it too far anyway. This one, we all know, and I'm not going to get out. Maybe the younger generation wants to skip rope here.
Jump rope.
Yeah. Okay. You girls now. The girls in school used to sing something when they did it. I have no idea anymore what they sang. Do you remember when you jump rope? Do you remember you'd sing something? Do you remember? Tin cans to the thread, and then you'd go and see how far they'd operate. You could go with them. This was merely a gadget of a monkey climbing a tree. And it's a pipe cleaner and all. Did nothing except the monkey would just climb up and down the tree. And as a kid, look at the monkey go, look at the monkey go, look at the monkey go. All right? Here you have a noisemaker. Now this one. Any idea what it is? This we're not embarrassing people. Let me have this chair. And you do this to a person who is very polite and would think of nothing that should go wrong or anything like that. And, yes. Be sure you get this on television now. Okay.
We're on television.
Okay. You just go and take and wind the rubber band around, and you just sit on like this and talk to a person and say, and how are you doing, young lady? How did you do in your test? You want to try it? Well, we got a reaction out of it. Okay, these were our guns when we were kids. And I'll confront with this. And this, the object was to shoot flies off the wall. And you could do pretty well with this one. And also when the cat was sleeping, you could get him. I have to tell you the story of old Tom. Okay, you just go and put it like this, and I'll go and put it over there against, and you see a fly against the wall. Pick them off the wall.
Show us again.
Huh?
Show us how it works.
Okay, all you do is you have the rubber bands on, and you pinch it in the back here. And then you take this and put it all the way in the front.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
And as you were saying now,
Oh,
you're not going to talk about me anymore.
no.
Sure? So, you see a fly out in the wall. Talking about the cat, we had a cat at home, old Tom. This is not in the toys. And Tom was 12 years old. He was a miserable thing. He'd sleep up in my bed, and when I'd kick him out, he'd bite me and everything else. So one day, Mom made mince pie. And Mom would not think of drinking, but she would put half a bottle of whiskey in the mince pie. So I ate the mince pie, and she didn't watch, and I gave Tom a piece. Tom went under the hot stove, you know, they had the kitchen in here, laying in there, tries to get out between the legs, bumps his head against the legs and can't get out, lays in the middle of the floor. Mom said, "What's the matter with poor Tommy?" "I don't know what's the matter with him. I never did tell her. I got the bugger drunk." This was our mechanized toy. Now you won't be able to see it. Maybe you can over here if it goes in the right direction. You have a spool and you wind it up with a rubber band. And then it just takes off.
Wow.
And I don't have it set right, but you could make it go across the room. I won't put it as far like that. But this, then you can go and tie something behind and have a trailer. I'm about 2/3 of the way there in case you people are getting sleepy now. Okay, this one. This was one you take like from the, you go up water tank, one rung, and you make your own parachute. And then you throw it up in the air, and when you come down, it won't, I don't have enough height in here, but when you come up, it go and slide down like a parachute, and you watch it come down as it goes through, so you make your own homemade parachutes. All right.
Didn't anybody ever knock you off that ladder tower while you were playing?
Boy, I didn't want anyone to knock me off. There, quite a few people climbed that thing in there, and you, like I said, you weren't one of the gang. Now I want to test out IQs in this one. I'll pass this one around.
You know.
They couldn't pass the test in there. You have a rubber band and it's stuck around with a loop on the inside. You have a notch. You take it. You turn it 1, 2, 3, pull it out, and it snaps.
No. You got to plug again.
You have the rubber band in there, and you just turn it around, and I pull it out.
2,
Yeah.
3.
You flunked this 8th grade test too.
I know, that's what I said. You want
Pass
to
it
try?
around.
I'll try it. I'll flunk too.
Okay, pass it around.
No.
Then we made our home-blown whistles with a reed. They give a nice shrill sound. It'd be enough to irritate the dogs. All right. This one always amazed me. Now, of the man, Devin, do you have a belt on? Give me the belt, please. I'm not gonna cut it. I don't wanna take mine off because by the time I do, then I get dressed and all. Here, this is just a piece of wood like this, and I don't know why the mechanics work like this. You just take the belt and put it back in the groove, and I have the knife as a point in here. Now that doesn't stick down in there right. That one does not stick down in there right. I don't know if it's not wide enough or what. There, maybe it'll do it. It doesn't stay down.
Maybe somebody else has another one.
What do you need, a wider or a narrow?
No.
I like a wider one, I believe. I can't.
Here's a wire.
Okay, let's see.
Hold your pants on.
Hey, you know what?
Yes.
If you would drop your drawers, what I mean, come front here, you could be the center of attention too. Yeah, that's better. Now, my other one broke. I have it at home there. This still doesn't want to work the way it's supposed to in here. This you put in, and when it fits back in there, you put the knife under, and it will. It won't work now, but when it's in there, it will balance. It'll balance, and you can put it on a needle or anything else. Just have your knife point holding it up there. I don't have it wedged in properly. It'll balance itself and all. Why it does it, I don't know.
Did you make that little gadget?
Yes, I sorted it out. I didn't do a good job. And then the one I had at home that I brought, I looked at it. I didn't have this out for 2 years. My good one broke. And this is, so I'm going to have to put some glue on. And I'll put this over with my, what you call, so I won't lose this. All right. This one was the original. I just have a BB here. And I'm not going to swallow it when I do it, but this was an implication of the old pea shooter. And I'll just show it here. I don't want to swallow the thing. And wherever it went, it doesn't matter. Okay? And if you get a good one and the teacher wasn't looking, and it make a nice sound when you ping it against the window. And you get distance on them with it too. All right, I only have 2 more, and they both revert to what we did up in Gratz on Halloween. Now this one, I can't put this in, but I can show you. Does anyone know what it is? This was a Gratz special. Go ahead, young lady.
Was that used at Halloween?
Yes, and what was it?
It made sound. You put it with a scared people.
Yeah, you put a rosin, you put a thumbtack in a windowsill, and then you wrap this around, and then you go back, and then you have this waxed in here, and then you hide behind a bush 40, 50 feet away, and it makes it sound like a violin out of shape. If you're deaf, take your handkerchief and hold it tight so you don't cut yourself. No, hold this tight so you don't cut yourself on the string. I don't know if we can make a sound out of it. Here, you take it yourself and hold it real tight there. Go and take a whole lot of string in there, and so you don't cut yourself. You have it real tight. Right there. Now this is, and if you can imagine magnifying 10 times more when you're into a wooden sill and people come tearing out after you and no one's there, they're hiding behind the bush. Makes fun there. And the last one I have here is a knick-knacker. You're familiar with the knick-knacker? Remember the knick-knacker? Now I don't want to take it on some of your nice glass here.
Metal door.
Where's the metal door?
That one.
This one? Here. Okay. About 10, 11 o'clock, the people are asleep. Then you go up to them. Just notches in there. And this is what we grew up with in Gratz here. Now, again, here you can hear what, I won't try to ruin your door. Here's part of my color mix in there. Basically, that's what I have. Now, what I would like from you people would be, we're talking about toys now. We're not talking about games. At home, I have the stilts made. I have about 5 pair of stilts, and I only have them about this. The bottom, I have a 2x2 maybe, and then the bottom I have a 2x4 nailed fast, and you're only about this high off the ground. And you'd be surprised when you take it out for the kids to go through it. Now that wasn't a game, that was a stilts. What was the name of the old welder up there? Emery Snyder. About 5 years ago, I had him up at the Gratz Fair. We had some activity for the youths and all, and Emery said, may I walk on him? Now Emery was older than I was. I'd say Emery was 85 at the time. That bugger walked all the way down to Midway on his stilts. He amazed me in there through that. And the other toy that, now it wasn't a toy, but what we did, I don't know if you people did in Gratz, we just take any sort of small tire we could get and take a piece of wood, and the bottom of the wood put a T on the bottom. And then we'd roll it down and roll that all over Gratz. We'd go around the corners, we'd have our Olympics and all, who'd win the race and everything like that. So that's basically what I have. Now, you people, we said we want you to participate. What are some toys that I missed? Homemade toys now. Anything at all? While you're thinking, I'm going to put my bell on. Anything at all, or any incidents that you had with these, or from that? I was up at the Herndon Senior Citizens. I gave this spiel up there. I couldn't get away there because I go and get up a toy. They'd talk about it for about 10 minutes. And then it took me about 2 hours to get through with the whole thing there, so the whole place was down there. Anything at all on that you recall of toys?
When I was small, my mother gave me the long wood, and they were real thick clothespins,
Yes?
and I would put it together. My brother actually showed me how to put it together like that for the airplane, and then run to the house the airplane.
Okay. That was a homemade toy. It was your airplane. Probably put a pin or a little prop in front.
Push it together.
Yeah, I know I'm saying with that in there, huh? Yeah. Any other thing in toys that we have?
Jean made something in the workshop, this is quite a few years ago, and I think it maybe dates back even before the 20s, and I can't remember what they're called. You explain what it was. There were 2 thin pieces of wood, a figure on each end, and in the middle you have some kind of an activity like sawing wood, and you move these 2 pieces of move the stick back and forth, and the figures move with it. But that was an older tool. I didn't think about it, never gave it a thought. But
Marco, you can make one like that for me the next time I give a spiel. I have one. Okay. All right. Anything else from you people?
My brother used to run around, they called it Dickie, I believe.
Yeah.
Ran all over everywhere.
Mm-hmm. They would. Anything else at all from you people? Now, Korsnitz and Stonewood, it wasn't too bad after all.
No, we did all right.
It was okay then?
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
being polite, like you said, you'd be an actor if you enjoyed it?
we did enjoy
Yeah, we
it.
did.
Okay.
We're not pretending.
Okay. All right, that's it. I thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me down here. Oh, we do have something here before we go. Here, for the dummies that didn't try, couldn't do this. You take it like this, and take it. In the vernacular, there ain't no rubber band in there. You take this and you just snap this back. The dummies. Yeah, for you people, they try to catch it in like this, and it just, you snip it back here. Here, do it one time so you know what you're doing now. You just take your fingers and squeeze it. No, take it front this way. Here, you take it like this. No, take.
See, I am a
Push it this way. Very good.
He
Okay.
was doing it. He found out how to do it.
Did you?
I saw him doing it every day.
and I couldn't figure out what made the noise.
Yeah, I was wondering. I saw the plunge. It seemed like it was snapping. So Earl did it.
Okay. All yours.
What was that called? Did it have a name?
What?
The dummy thing.
No,
The one with the rubber band's not in it.
Dummy stick.
I will talk about a certain nationality, and I'm not talking about nationality for here, but it would be the certain nationalities IQ tester.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you very much. We have another round of applause. What is this?
And I probably never knew it was Sagittarius. Seriously,
I
he's a Sagittarius, and I don't really think I've been a Sagittarius.
I taught many years, like 37 years, and I always told kids I could get a rapport with them. Yeah, and if they make a mistake, I just laugh, laugh with them, not at them. And they can, and they pull something and they were really happy. And the other way, from the knife, take it on the other side. Yeah, twist it here and turn it to that. Take one on one side here, and the other on this side here. They can always play with it tonight.
I'm that one.
Yeah. If you can ever make an extra key for that, sir.
Got a couple you put in the feed. But I never saw anything.
In fact, he made some for some of the nieces I think when they were used because he just
There wasn't anybody in it. You made the evening, what a nice thing to do.
Or who will sing it? You'll find yourself or something like that. A liminal pattern.
I do that like this, and it gives you back and forth.
Just take one of them off. These are all sugars. These are the ones running lengthwise. Okay, pinch it in here first. No, you gotta pinch it in. You gotta pinch it in this one.
You're the great one. Let loose and his hand.
Oh, I couldn't figure out what Oh, I couldn't
Just
She's sitting there trying to call people who were.
Where did it go? Oh, I got it. I'll get it, George.
I don't think. Very good, how are you, sir? Good. Staying busy. This is the one that fascinates me.
Yeah, my good one broke there in the bell. And, when you put your bell.
That's good, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really enjoyed this one.
Okay, thank
Really.
you.